This video will explain how a for loop works. Although the code is written in Java, the principles that are discussed apply to almost every programming language. The program that is used for this illustration reads from the keyboard 10 integers, and you can see in the bottom panel here that the output window has already been populated with the data that we want the program to read, and we pick up execution at the point where the for loop is about to be entered. This for loop initializes a loop counter called I that is currently not yet declared. And we can see from the variables panel here that I is not yet a known variable in the current context, simply because the loop has not yet begun. As I step through these statements, watch what happens to the value of I. First, we enter the loop. And that means that I is now declared and initialized to the value 0, which can be seen here. Then I is tested to see if it is less than 10, which of course it is, and therefore the loop is executed once. So read from the keyboard, and having read from the keyboard, we're now able to test the value of num, which is currently the value 2. Because that is greater than or equal to 0, we'll add 1 to the value of count. Then, with the loop body finished, the next thing that happens is that the loop counter is incremented. So again, watch the value of I, which is currently 0, and when that statement is executed, I changes to 1. Having incremented the loop counter, the next thing is to test again to see if I is still less than 10, which of course it is, and therefore we would expect the loop to be executed again, which it is. And having executed the loop body, we now come to the increment again, so that I, which has currently got the value 1, is incremented to 2, and the test occurs. And so we carry on in this pattern, and execute the loop, increment the counter, test the counter, execute the loop, increment, test, and this will continue until the value of I is no longer less than 10. So this is the last iteration. We increment I again, it becomes 10. We now test, and the condition will now be false, which will take us out of the loop to execute the very last statement in the program.